Mhm. Alrighty. We are just about ready to get started. Let me make sure I am muted there. Put my hand up, make sure we can see me live. Can we see me live? 1 second. Make sure this is live is working. Hold my hand up until. Alrighty. We are sweet. We are live. Alrighty. So I cannot see the YouTube live, fortunately and unfortunately. And that's okay. We're just gonna have to deal with that. Here's what I am gonna do though, is we're gonna go ahead. Now we know we're live. We're gonna start the timer. We're gonna give ourselves 7 minutes to get started. And I'll see you guys in 7 minutes. All right, here we go. We are live. Guys on YouTube, I drop comments if you could see me. Let me hop over here. I want to see what happens if I can see me even. Um, we are gonna go ahead and get started. Um, all right, we're gonna go ahead and figure out. Okay, I'm gonna get out of there. We got 1 minute till we get started. Ready to ramp this up. I don't think YouTube's gonna go today, guys. Here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it going. What's going on? Hannah, good to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shut down maybe YouTube today. Let me see. Let me just put day 2, see what happens. Either way, it's all good because if people really want to see it, the recordings are gonna be in the Facebook page. I hope you are ready for day 2. Perfect. I can join Zoom. I just can't see the link. Perfect. Let's see. Give me 1 second. We are good on Facebook. Hannah, did you register for Zoom or did you register for Facebook? All right, we're going to go ahead and close that. That is our alarm and system ready to go. We'll go ahead and start on day 2. Okay, here we go. Yes. The reason why I asked is because I did not see, I didn't get any notification that we had any VIPs. So just so you guys know, the VIPs who registered for VIP, that's for Zoom. And then we are live streaming here on Facebook. So I want everybody to be here on Facebook, preferably. For those of you who are watching the recordings, it's very important that as you guys get to these recordings, you absolutely do the work. You have to do the work. That's the point of the 5-day challenge. So I'm going to go ahead. Give me a thumbs up. You guys can hear me good. And if you guys can hear me good, we are good to go. and I'm going to keep it streaming everywhere I'm streaming. We'll just see if it catches on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go ahead and get started and jump right in to day 2. So first of all, welcome to Ideal Habit Challenge Day 2. The Master Your Habits, Master Your Life Challenge. Again, guys, the free challenge starts daily. Ignore the dates here. You know what? Let's go ahead and update that. 16th to the 20th. There we go. Quick, easy update, right? So it does start from the 16th to the 20th every single day. Another update at 4 p.m. If you guys were on our last challenge, it was at 9 a.m. That's why. At 4 p.m. Pacific time, I felt like that was more convenient for everybody that was registering for the 9 a.m. calls to be able to hop on in on the 4 p.m. calls. Now, each broadcast will be approximately 90 minutes. I say approximately because the more involved you are, the longer we could go. We go all the way up to the 90-minute mark. Since it's nice, since you guys are a part of the very first challenges happening, we get to do this more intimate, meaning there's few of you guys and one of me, whereas I'm going to ramp this up. I encourage you guys to ramp this up as we get down here to a few slides. But as we start to ramp this up, I encourage you guys to introduce other entrepreneurs who you would feel could gain the same value that you gain from this challenge into our next challenge and the next challenge and the next challenge. So with that being said, while we have this time together, while it's smaller, take advantage of that time. If you guys are watching the replays, try to show up live. If you're watching the replays and you have questions, ask those questions inside of the Facebook group so that way we could get to them, right? And specifically, if you're asking your questions, say like day 2 and ask the questions. So replays will be available immediately after the live broadcast. You guys in the Facebook group, I think I have the settings on just to save the recordings. So before I do that, let me actually hit record. Give me 1 second. Boom, there we go. Recording in progress. There we go. So replays will be available immediately after the live broadcast, so you guys can see those. We will make sure to email you guys, text you guys, Facebook message you guys daily with reminders and recaps so you don't miss a thing. If you guys are on right now, I'm assuming you got the emails right now, about 15 minutes ago, saying we are live. And then for the Ideal Habit Challenge VIP, that will start immediately following the main session. Okay. So where do I watch the live replays? You can watch them here on the Facebook page. In the guides, it'll also take you to our challenge replay page to watch them on the replays. Ultimately, they will be live on the replays. They will be deleted. We'll probably leave them live in the Facebook group for 24 hours, and then we'll delete them there, and then you'll be watching them in the challenge replay page moving forward. How do I access my links? Everything's going to be sent to you guys on email. And if you absolutely need something, we'll make sure we get it to you via Messenger. I think I've got this thing down. If you ended up inside of the Facebook Live right now, that means my skills are getting better at live streaming. And VIP members, for you guys to end up on VIP, which is via Zoom, that is in your email right now as well. Now, in the Facebook page, how do you get involved and take advantage of the Facebook group page? This challenge, I am gonna imagine, guys, I just got a phone call that we have a team, an organization of 300 people that want to do this challenge with an organization. So if you guys are early inside of the Facebook group right now, if you guys are watching this challenge, we should have about 7 to 10 members in the Facebook group. So in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to have this group of flood of 300 people join the challenge from one organization. So that means 300 entrepreneurs will flood this Facebook group page. So that's what I talk about exponential growth. So what I want you guys to do to take advantage of that opportunity is Go live in the Facebook page. Get out of your comfort zone. Go live and introduce yourself, right? If you have any questions about any of the homework, make sure to toss it in the Facebook page. So that way we can answer your questions. If you're watching this live on Facebook, ask your questions so that way we can answer them as they come through. As I'm presenting, I'm going to be bouncing back from looking at YouTube live, looking at we tried LinkedIn Live. We're going to see if that works. And we tried Facebook Live. Ultimately, I'm going to pay attention to the Facebook Live, guys, the Facebook group. So everybody, if you're on YouTube, the reason why I'm doing it is to capture some people that emailed into us. They don't have a Facebook group. I want to encourage you guys, if you guys are watching on YouTube, just get back onto Facebook. It's easy, guys. There are 2 billion people on Facebook, maybe more, but get back on Facebook. Just go there and have conversations with others. So without having conversations with others, you might find your next partnership, relationship, resource, maybe funding for your business inside of the Facebook group, especially as we have this grow over the next year. Then in the feature tab, this is where we're going to have updates for the challenges. The live is pinned to the Facebook featured page right now. And that's where everybody could get on. And the guides. Inside of the guides is where you can watch all the replays. Then the resources are actually in the files tab. So I didn't put the files there, but in the files tab, make sure right now it is day 2. We have a worksheet for day 1, day 2, and day 3. I may or may not build out a worksheet for day 4. So based on how it goes, I might have a worksheet for you guys ready for day 4 that you guys could download in the same folder that you guys see the all your links are going to go download the PDFs. And then in the files tab by Tuesday, by Thursday, if we have a day 4 PDF, we may or may not, I will have that in the files tab for you guys. Cool. All right. Now, upgrade to VIP. If you want, today is the last day to upgrade to VIP. You spend an additional 60 minutes live training and implementation on whatever it is we learned today, whatever it is we learned yesterday, and every single day as we go on. I'm going to offer you guys 3 months trial to the Ideal app. We're going to have special guests from time to time as we do these challenges. You guys get access to those VIP guests. And what day those guests pop up, it's very random. We might have the guests pop up on day 1. Sometimes we might have them pop up on day 3, sometimes on day 5, right? So it's very random on when they hop on. And if you're not a part of VIP, we also don't record VIP. So that's another thing. So it's very exclusive. You got to be there live. Bonus number 3 is the Master Your Habit, Master Your Life 12 week module program, the Ideal Banking System, and the Millionaire to Billionaire Masterclasses. All of that we offer for $27. You guys can upgrade to that. Challenge participation. I already said this. Go live and introduce yourself inside the Facebook group. Why are you committing to being here? Okay. There is something you are trying to solve that you have yet to solve for yourself that brings you to even participate in this challenge. You could be doing anything else for this next hour, but you chose to be here. What is that thing you're trying to solve that you haven't solved for yourself yet that you would like to solve by the end of these 5 days? The more interactive you are, I promise this framework will take you step by step by step by step to get you clearer to solving that problem, either having it completely solved or at least having you a direction to solve that problem. I want you guys to have that done. Then interact with others in the group. Be kind, encourage one another. Guys, at Ideal, we are family here. My goal is to know every single one of you guys personally, have a personal relationship with every single one of you guys. Then this is a challenge, but a challenge is a lot more fun when you can invite a challenge buddy. So you could go to idealu.io/habit-challenge or challenge-registration and get registered. So right now we are on day 2. This is our roadmap for day 2, and we are going to be aligning you with you. So are you guys ready to get started with that? Here's what I'll do. Here we go. There we go. I was looking for something specific. Okay. All righty, here we go. So we're going to go over aligning you with you. Are you guys ready to get started? Here is, let's bounce right back to my slides and I want to go over this. Sorry, I was adjusting some things. All right, so we are on day 2. Day 2 is all about aligning you with you. This is understanding the knowing doing gap. So here's what's nice. If you are a part of the Ideal community, I've done some trainings on the knowing doing gap. Today, we're going to do exercises to really understand where are you at in this knowing doing gap. Where are you actually at, right? And this is going to be fun. And then day 3, day 4, and day 5, we'll get to it, and each day builds upon itself. So let's go ahead and dive on with the aligning you with you worksheet. Now, a lot of this starts off with your paradigm. We all have a paradigm, okay? You guys have probably heard that saying before. What you do, why you do what you do, has everything to be controlled by your paradigm. Your paradigm is ultimately your personality. Okay. And so what is your personality? Your personality is a multitude of habits. All right. And your habits are permanent. Think about that. The habits you have are permanent. So I want to tell you guys why. I want to get you guys to understand my job in this challenge is to convince you guys that everything you want in life and in business is on the other side of developing new successful habits. That's my job for the next 5 days. Convince you that habits are a part of the reason why you are where you are and not where you want to be. Okay. Your habits are permanent. Now, you can change a habit. Once you bring it to your conscious awareness that that habit exists in your personality, in your paradigm. That's the only way to change it first. You first have to identify and bring it to your conscious awareness that it actually exists. Here's the definition of, or I guess my definition. I don't know if this is the book definition of habits, but you guys could jot this down, write this down. A habit is nothing but an idea fixed in a person's subconscious mind. Okay. I'm going to share a story with you guys about this. And that idea, there's 2 parts of our mind that I'll ever talk to you guys about. We have the conscious mind. You guys will see me reference the top half of my head every time I reference the conscious mind. Okay. Then there is the subconscious mind. You guys will see me reference the bottom half of my head. If we took a circle, right, and drew a stick person, matter of fact, a habit is nothing but an idea fixed in the person's subconscious mind that causes them to do something without any conscious thought. Causes them to do something without any conscious thought. If I drew a stick person, okay, when you guys hear me reference conscious mind and subconscious mind, okay, the top half is going to be the conscious mind. Conscious mind. Okay, this is where you have these little antennas. That's everything you do with your conscious mind, which we know as see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Okay, our sensory factors. That's where we gather information. We spend time gathering information here. Okay, so let's go back to these slides, or let me tell you guys a story. A habit is so powerful. Now, I'm not much of a drinker, but I'm gonna tell you guys a story of a time I did drink. I drank and I got blacked out drunk. Okay. Now this was years ago. This was about a decade ago. And when I got drunk, it was about 3 in the morning. And I ended up going home about 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up the next day. And here's what happened. I called my friend and I said, "Hey, who has my car? I'm gonna go pick up my car in like an hour. Who has my car? Is it still at the house or did somebody take it home? Who has it?" They're like, no, Michael, you drove home. I'm like, I drove home. What do you mean I drove home? Yeah, you insisted to that you were gonna drive home. You sounded fine and looked fine, and you insisted. So I was like, okay. And I hung up. And then I hung up and I picked up the phone again and I called another buddy and I said, "Hey, did I drive home?" They're like, "Yeah, Michael, you drove home. It was like 3 a.m. You said you were fine." Said the same thing. I was like, "For real?" All right, hung up. So I was like, "Okay, well, apparently I drove home. If I drove home, my car's outside." So I walk outside and I open the door of my apartment and sure enough, my car's there. And so I go looking around and kind of just peek around the bumpers and make sure there's no scratches on the car. Sure enough, there was no scratches. I was parked fine and on with my life from that day. Never thought about that day ever again the rest of my life until I got into studying the science of habits, until I got into really personal and professional development and understanding the way you do what you do every single day, the underlying factor of all the results you have. Right? On day one, I said, take ownership of all the results and everything you are in your life because you got you there. The choices you make put you there. So I started studying why it is that we do. And this memory popped back up into my head of driving home blacked out drunk. Let's reflect on this story now. I was blacked out drunk, which means what? My conscious mind shut off, right? If I had a shut off switch, it shut off. It was blacked out. It was gone. It was done. Shut off. My conscious mind, though, turned on, right? And if we go back to that definition, a habit is nothing but an idea fixed in a person's subconscious mind that causes me to do something. In this case, I drove. My conscious mind shut off, but my subconscious mind found the keys, started the car. I'm driving a manual, so I was able to work the clutch, the gas, the brake, first gear to sixth gear, reverse, stop at every red stop sign, hopefully, stop at every red light, hopefully. And I know my route from the house to my house, I was on the other side of town, so I know I took the freeway home, right? I know I took the freeway home. And so my subconscious mind was able to do something, drive, without any conscious thought. My conscious mind being shut off. I share that with you guys because that's how powerful a habit is. A habit could be life-saving or life-threatening. Now, a habit, your mind doesn't know the difference between real and fake, good and bad, healthy and unhealthy. Your mind only understands repetition. And through what's repeated and through what you're emotionally involved with, your mind, brings into your subconscious. So what is an example? Maybe I shared it on day one. Maybe I didn't. But let's talk about an example of a life-threatening habit. That was a life-saving habit. I so happened to be driving so much in my life that I got blacked out drunk. I made it home safe. There's a lot of people that are in that situation that never make it to the next day, right? So that's life saving of a habit. It's permanent. I'm thankful for that permanent habit of mine, right? But there's also other habits that aren't so healthy. There's 3 types of habits. There is a healthy habit, a bad habit, and a neutral habit. So an unhealthy habit would be something like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Now, if you know someone who smokes a pack of cigarettes a day, That's a life-threatening habit, not because they're smoking tobacco every single day, but because if they stop, they could die, right? Isn't that crazy that they smoke a pack of cigarette a day, something that they could smoke every day that's actually killing them over a long period of time? If that person chose to stop today, immediately, their mind would go into shock because all it knows is that it needs it to survive. That's all it thinks it needs through repetition, that their body can actually go into shock and they could die. Their mind doesn't know any better. It just thinks that we've been smoking so much that if we gave it up, could we live without it? And so throughout that process, you need to wind down a bad habit. If they're smoking a pack a day, maybe they might do it to smoking a cigarette in the morning, noon, and night, right? So 3 cigarettes a day rather than a pack. Then they do that for about 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, they switch over and they go to just 1 cigarette a day. They do that for about 3 weeks. After that, they probably wind down to a cigarette every other day. Do that for about 3 weeks, and then they wind down to a cigarette a week, and then eventually they stop, right? They got to slowly, gradually get off of that bad habit. So you got a habit that's life-saving and life-threatening. You got the driving is a neutral habit. Smoking is a bad habit, unhealthy habit. And an example of a good habit and a healthy habit would be like going to the gym or a proper diet nutrition plan, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to identify where you're at in your life and where you want to be today. You guys ready to get started? Get a pen, get a paper, pen and paper. And here's what we're going to do. On a blank sheet of paper, this is very important. You either downloaded and printed the worksheet for today, okay, which is aligning you with you, that worksheet. You either printed it and you're going to write on that, or on a brand new sheet of paper. Make sure this is specifically for this exercise. If you could tear out this piece of paper, I want you to do that. I want you to tear it out and I want you to set it aside. The second half of the exercise, you're going to rewrite inside that same notebook, but you're going to keep that in the book. You're not going to tear it out. But the first part of this exercise, make sure you write on a blank sheet of paper that when you're done, you could tear it out. That's important for the end of this exercise. So let me go ahead and dive right back in. Here's what we're going to do. Is habits are ideas, right, that automatically express themselves through behavior without any conscious thought, right? It takes no conscious thought. They're ideas that are fixed in the subconscious mind. Here's the thing. Non-productive habits can be overpowered through the repetition of new beliefs that are planted in the subconscious mind with strong emotions resulting in a new habit, okay? So non-productive habits, identify in your head, what are some non-productive habits you have? Maybe scrolling on social media, watching TV, just things that are non-productive, right? You guys know what that is in your life. Those can be overpowered through the repetition of a new belief that are planted in the subconscious mind with strong emotion, resulting in a new habit. So we're going to look at some following words. I'm going to describe these words and topics, and I'm going to ask you a question. Once we do that, I want you to describe your present results in these areas. If you guys are willing to share your answers inside of the chat, please do. The more willing you are to share any of your answers in the chat, the more I could do on spot hot seat coaching with it, so that way we can educate and get you further faster. So are you guys ready? The first word that we're going to discuss, can I get a thumbs up? Can everybody hear me, by the way? Can I get some thumbs up, or maybe throw a pencil emoji in the chat if you can hear me? Ready to go? Everybody got your pens and paper? It's very important if you're live and if you're watching the recordings that you please do this. I should announce this. I'm definitely going to announce this at the beginning of every day now moving forward. Please find a distraction-free zone to do this challenge. All right, here we go. The first word is going to be financial wealth. Okay. I'm going to ask you guys this question. How long could you maintain your present lifestyle? Actually, here's the rule for this exercise. Describe your present results in these areas. Okay. Try to elaborate on it. If any of these do happen to be one word answers, that's fine. But try to answer yes and why, or yes and but like make it a full sentence other than just yes. Some of these might just be a yes or no or just a number, and that's fine. But do your best to elaborate on it too when you're writing it down. Okay. How long could you maintain your present lifestyle if your present income were to stop? This could be in months, in years, in weeks, or in days. How long could you maintain your present lifestyle if your present income were to stop? I'll give you guys roughly 30 seconds to a minute on every single one of these questions. How long could you maintain your present lifestyle if your present income were to stop? Here's what we'll do. Actually, I think I could do this. How long can you maintain your present lifestyle if your present income were to stop? All right, next question is, what is the most you have ever earned in a year? What is the most you have ever earned in a year? Jot that down. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to share my screen with you guys so that way you guys can see these questions at the same time. I was going to do a timer, but we won't do that. We will just share my screen. What is the most you have ever earned in a year? Okay. And when you guys are done, the last one for financial wealth, that topic is, how much would you have to earn before you consider yourself wealthy? How much would you have to earn before you consider yourself wealthy? Hmm. As I do this, to be on pace, I'll give you guys, like I said, about a minute each. If you guys feel a willingness to share your answers in the chats as we go through, definitely go ahead and do that too as well. But for the most part, we'll keep that going on. If you guys want to give me a thumbs up or any type of thing in the chat as we do go through these and give me a signal of like you're ready to go on, we can. For the most part, I'll give you guys at least a minute per one, so we'll be good. How much money would you have to earn before you consider yourself wealthy? Awesome. All right, you guys ready for the next one? Now, if I continue also and I go too far ahead, just tug on me, or give me a little, hey, slow down, or go back in the chat, and I'll make sure to go back to as well. All right. Okay. So the next one, let's talk about business. Let's talk about entrepreneurship. Let's talk about your professional life. Okay. Some of you guys are not business owners. I'm aware of that. That's been brought to my attention, right? Some people that are registered for this, that are not live, if you're watching the recording, maybe you just are scaling the corporate ladder. And so think of this word business as your professional life. In your professional life, if an outside consultant were to analyze what you do and how well you do it, would they consider you to be successful? Remember, write your present results in all of these answers. Your present results in all of these answers. If an outside consultant were to analyze what you do and how well you do it, would they consider you to be successful? All righty. Give you guys about 30 more seconds to answer that. If an outside consultant were to analyze what you do and how well you do it, would they consider you to be successful? Now, you guys will notice I don't spend a lot of time clarifying these questions. Every single person, this is how you receive that question, is how you answer that question, okay? Whatever the question means to you. Let's go to the next one. Economy. How does the economy affect you personally? Give you guys about a minute. How does the economy affect you personally? All righty. Okay. How does the economy affect you personally? All right. Perfect. Next, vacations. Okay. How often do you take a vacation? How often do you take a vacation? Where do you go? What kind of accommodations do you have when vacationing? Do you frequently or freely participate in activities of choice while vacationing? What type of activities? How often do you take a vacation? Where do you go? What kind of accommodations do you have when vacationing? Do you freely participate in activities of choice while vacationing? What kind of activities? What type of activities? Jot those down. I'll give you guys about 2 minutes for these questions so you guys have time, since it's a big bundle of questions for this one. This is very important. Right now, what we're doing is we're bringing all this information to your conscious mind, right? Where you gather information. We're bringing it up to your conscious awareness. That's all we're doing. For everyone, there is no right or wrong answers to any of these. There is your perception on how you receive the question, and then your answers on how you feel your present results are with every single one of these areas of your life. Vacations. How often do you take a vacation? Where do you go? What kind of accommodations do you have when vacationing? And do you freely participate in activities of choice while vacationing? And what kind or what type of activities? Give you guys about 1 more minute. All righty. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, home. Do you own your home? Okay, do you own your home? After that, I want you to describe the house you live in. How would you describe the house you live in? Do you own your home? Yes or no? Then, how would you describe the house you live in? How would you describe the house you live in? I give you guys about 1 minute to answer this question. How would you describe the house you live in? Do you own your home? And how would you describe the house you live in? All righty, you guys ready for next? Here we go. Relationships. This is the last topic. Okay. Relationships. Describe the relationships you have at home. I'll give you guys 3 minutes to answer these questions. Right now it's 4:45. We'll go to 4:48. 4:48. Describe the relationships you have at home. Once you're done with that, describe the relationships at work. Once you're done with that, describe your social relationships. Put some thought towards it. Think about it. Think about those relationships. Go ahead and describe them. Describe your relationships at home. Describe your relationships at work. And describe your social relationships. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 1 more minute on that. Describe your relationships at home, describe your relationships at work, and describe your social relationships. Okay, here we go. So as we wrap that up, we'll come to a stop. If you guys are done, everyone should be done right around that. Okay, I want you guys to reflect on all your answers real quick. Okay. What you have described in this exercise is an expression of how your life is being controlled in each of these areas by your subconscious mind. Okay. Your subconscious mind, all that is this is something that here through repetition, it's either something you're emotionally involved with. Okay. You're emotionally involved with these ideas, or you just so happen to repeat it over and over and over and over, like driving for me, right? Driving, I repeated so much, it became a subconscious behavior. At the same time, I became emotionally involved with the idea about driving. So I learned how to drive very, very fast, right? Same thing with you guys. You guys learned how to drive very fast because you became emotionally involved with the idea of driving. Now, the same is also true if we say the smoker, right? They smoked a cigarette a day, smoked 2 cigarettes a day, smoked a pack a day. Through repetition, it became subconscious behavior. Also, they got emotionally involved with the idea of smoking every day. Therefore, they became a subconscious smoker. Here's one thing to realize, okay? I'll repeat it. What you described in that exercise is an expression of how your life is being controlled in each of these areas by your subconscious mind. Now, it's a part of your paradigm, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what you're capable of creating. Okay? It's a part of your paradigm. And is important, and has absolutely nothing to do with what you're capable of creating. These results represent beliefs that have been passed from one generation to the next. Okay. Now understand this. To establish new results, these are your present results. To establish new results, you must first establish on a conscious level, okay? On a conscious level, what you believe you are capable of creating. Okay, we got to bring it to your conscious awareness of what you believe you're capable of creating. When you have that completed, you must then plant that new belief into your subconscious mind. Okay, we must impress it upon our subconscious mind. So we're going to do that in this next exercise. Okay, what I want you guys to do is, if you guys followed the instructions on that first exercise, you wrote it on a brand new blank sheet of paper. I want you guys to rip that piece of paper out, and I want you just to set it aside and don't touch it right now. Okay, set it aside, don't touch it. Now, on a brand new sheet of paper, this one we're not going to rip out of your notebook. We're going to keep it in your notebook, but on a brand new sheet. Okay, we're going to take each of these words again that we discussed and imagine what these areas of your life would be like if you were to create what you wanted. Okay, I'm gonna put the word right here. Whoops. Want. Answer the questions as if you have created what you wanted. Okay. When we go over these again, I want you guys to think. Okay. Don't just jot anything down. Now, here's something that's also very important. Also, don't spend any time wondering whether or how it's going to happen. That's irrelevant at this point in this process. Okay. All we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these words again. And you're going to look at the same questions you answered before. and we're going to put our imagination to work. God gave us mental faculties. Imagination is one of them. Okay. Some people will fall asleep on their deathbed, never developing their imagination or any of the other 5 mental faculties. Okay. So we're going to put your imagination to work. How would you like to see each of these areas? Right? Think first class vacations, your dream home, right? What kind of income you've always dreamed of. Describe what you really want. Describe what you really want. You guys ready to get started? Any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, throw them in the chat right now before we jump in. If we're clear, give me a thumbs up and we're good to go. We're going to move on to the second part of this exercise. I am ready. I hope you guys are getting ready. This next exercise, you can see how we tie this together. And this is going to roll into day 3, day 4, day 5, and we're going to have some fun with it. So cool. We are all good to go. All right. Pen, paper, new sheet of paper. Did you guys follow the instructions and rip out the first exercise? Were you guys able to rip that out and put it aside? Throw me a paper emoji in the chat or just give me a yes if you guys did that. I want to just, we ripped that out. We're starting on a fresh, brand new sheet of paper. All right. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. We're going to reflect on these questions again. And I want you guys to write down the answers the way you want it to be. Here we go. The way you want it to be. The way you want it to be. Very important. The way you want it to be. Okay. Financial wealth. I'll give you guys 3 minutes, a minute for every question. This time, yeah, we'll give it a minute for every question. How long could you maintain your present lifestyle if your present income were to stop? The way you want it to be. The way you desire it to happen. How long could you maintain your present lifestyle? Think of your present lifestyle the way you want your present lifestyle to be if your present income were to stop. Okay. How long could you maintain your present lifestyle if your present income were to stop? Next, what is the most you have ever earned in a year? What is the most you have ever earned in a year? The way you want it to be. What is the most you have ever earned in a year? The way you want it to be. And third, how much money would you have to earn before you consider yourself wealthy? This can be, remember, it could be a monthly reoccurring income, it could be an annualized income, or it could be a total balance. How much money would you have to earn before you consider yourself wealthy? Monthly income, annualized income, or total balance? All righty, I'll give you about 1 more minute to answer these questions and then we'll move on. Remember, if you guys are willing to share in the Facebook chat, I'm curious to know your new answer, if there is a new answer, for how much would you have to earn before you consider yourself wealthy? What is the most you have ever earned in a year? And how long could you maintain your present lifestyle if your present income were to stop? Alrighty, here we go. We're going to move on to the next category. Remember, don't just jot anything down. Really think about it. Put some stuff down there. Now, business or professional life. If an outside consultant were to analyze what you do and how well you do it, would they consider you to be successful? If an outside consultant were to analyze what you do and how well you do it, would they consider you to be successful? Give you guys about 30 more seconds. If an outside consultant were to analyze what you do and how well you do it, would they consider you to be successful? The way you want it to be. Remember, we're putting our imagination to work. We are putting our imagination to work the way you want it to be. We already wrote down our present results, so don't be thinking about your present results in these areas anymore. We're thinking about the way we want these results to be. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on. Economy. How does the economy affect you personally? Give you guys about a minute. How does the economy affect you personally? How does the economy affect you personally? Give you guys about 10 more seconds on that one. All right. Vacation. I'll give you guys a few minutes for this one. How often do you take a vacation? The way you want it to be. Remember, the way you want it to be. How often do you take a vacation? We will do 4 minutes with this conversation. So you guys got some time to write down an answer. Where do you go? How often do you take a vacation? Where do you go? Remember the way you want it to be. Where do you go? What kind of accommodations do you have when vacationing? What type of accommodations do you have when vacationing? And do you freely participate in activities of choice while vacationing? Jot down a few of those activities. What are they? How often do you take a vacation? Where do you go? What kind of accommodations do you have when vacationing? And do you freely participate in activities of choice while vacationing? And what are those activities? I'll give you guys about 1 more minute. All righty. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Home. Do you own your home? Do you own your home? Out of any of these ones, especially the way we want them to be, the ones that you are willing to toss into the chat, definitely toss in the chat so I could spark some conversation around these. And how would you describe the house you live in? Remember, the way you want it to be. How would you describe the house you live in? All right, where we at? I'll give you guys 1 more minute on that. Do you own your home, and how would you describe the house you live in? Okay, and let's go ahead and wrap this up. Relationships. Describe the relationships you have at home. Go ahead and jot those down. Describe the relationships you have at home. Once you're done with describing the relationships you have at home, go ahead and describe your relationships at work. And once you're done describing your relationships at work, go ahead and describe your social relationships. Remember, the way you want them to be. The way you want them to be. Describe the relationships you have at home, describe the relationships at work, and describe your relationships, your social relationships. Give you guys about another 30 seconds on all of that. And then we'll go ahead and continue. We are coming down to the finish line of day 2, guys, with about 20 more minutes. We're going to tie this all together. We will tie this all together. Okay, here we go. All right. Now, why did we do that? Why did we did 2 exercises. Why did we do them? Why are they important? Okay. Remember, guys, my job is to convince you guys. My job is to convince you guys that everything you want in life and in business is on the other side of developing new success habits. That's my belief. Okay. So if we reflect back on our paradigm, okay, what is a habit? A habit is an idea fixed in our conscious mind, okay, or subconscious mind that causes us to do something without any conscious thought. All right, so that causes you to do, keyword, do, right? Here's your body. Hopefully you guys can see that. Do. To get you the results you're getting today. The results you're getting today have everything that causes your body to do. What actually causes you to do something? I'll give you an example. How many of you guys set the alarm to wake up at 5 a.m. because you're going to go to the gym at 5:30 a.m.? Then the alarm goes off and you hit snooze and you throw the blanket over and you snuggle up that blanket. Why? There's that knowing doing gap, okay? The reason why we did what we did today is so you can identify what the knowing doing gap is. And here's where we came up with. You know where your current results are at right now in your life is where you're at. Because of the results you're getting right now are the things you're doing, and you're doing them because you're emotionally involved with them. Why are you emotionally involved with them? Because you're consciously thinking about these results, and you don't know. When you get the results you're getting, whether it's you're not making the money you want to be making, you don't have the friendships you want, the relationships you want, you're not living in your dream home yet, the results you're getting cause you to think new thoughts in your conscious mind or think about those results right here then get implanted in your subconscious mind because you're thinking about them over and over and over again. In your subconscious mind, you get emotionally involved with those thoughts, and it causes you to be in a vibration every day, a frequency to do what's in alignment with how you feel. And then you end up getting the same results. You guys see how this is a constant cycle and it just repeats itself. 95% of the thoughts that you have on a daily basis are the same exact thoughts as yesterday. Isn't that interesting, right? Studies in science say that we have about 70,000 thoughts a day, 50 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And 95% of them are the same as yesterday. Isn't that scary? Isn't that scary? 95% of the thoughts are the same as yesterday. The reason why your present results are the way they are, and if you guys noticed, I'm not reading any of the comments, but think about your answers the way you want them to be, right? What is the most you have ever earned in a year? What is your present results answer? And what is the way you want it to be answer? I've had people say the most I ever made in a year was $38,000. The way they want it to be is they want to make $15 million a year. That's a big ass gap. But it could be closed. It can be closed. There's a knowing doing gap, guys, in your life. And this is when we know what we should be doing. We know, right? How many of us know somebody that's super smart? They know everything, but they're just not doing nothing with that information, right? How many of us know somebody that is going on a diet? They say they're going on a diet. They show up to a birthday party and there's a fat chocolate cake on the table. And they know they shouldn't eat that piece of cake. They don't want the results that that cake is going to get them. Yet they eat the cake anyway. Right? Yet they eat the cake anyway. Then somebody sees them eat the cake and says, hey, I thought you were on a diet. They go, I know. Well, then why'd you do that? I don't know. But they know, but they're doing something different. See, that's what spending a year with Ideal is all about. We help you take this knowing doing gap and close it. Everything you want in life is on the other side of it, developing new success habits. Imagine having the habit of doing and stopping the habit of knowing so much. I believe you guys all know, maybe logically, maybe illogically, I believe you guys are pretty sophisticated people if you're on this call, that you know what you should be doing to create traction in your life and in your business. I believe you really know. I just believe you don't have a doing habit. I believe you have a knowing habit. And some of you guys might feel, oh, I need to go catch another webinar. You know what? I need to go attend another seminar. You know what? I need to read just one more book. I need to hire just one more coach, or like whatever it is. It's always one more, always one more. It's actually none of that. What it is you just need to do. Just do everything you know right now. Imagine if you didn't learn anything else. Imagine if you weren't allowed to learn anything new after this call today. And you are only allowed to do and apply everything you know. How much further do you believe you could possibly be to the way you want life to be? Okay. Here's what I'm going to have you guys do. I'm going to have you guys do 2 more short, small exercises that'll take 1 minute. Okay. I want to have you guys below. You could go right below your answers right now or on the next page, whatever. Okay. And I want you guys to write down 3 things you're grateful for. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. When you're writing down 3 things you're grateful for, I want you to write down 1 thing from the past, 1 thing from the present, and 1 thing from the future. And I'll tell you why this is important as you guys are writing them down. Success leaves clues. Okay. And I've interviewed hundreds of millionaires, billionaires. You guys have probably watched interviews of these millionaires and billionaires on your own, and many, many more. Successful people, inspirational people in our life. And a common theme amongst all of them, they all agree that they should show gratitude every day. A lot of them state that they wake up and they show gratitude first thing in the morning. I want to encourage you guys every single morning after today, starting tomorrow, that you wake up and you write down 3 things you're grateful for. And I want you guys to activate 2 parts of your mind that God gave you that most people will die on their deathbed not ever developing. Okay. And I want you to write down 1 thing you're grateful for from the past. I want you to write down 1 thing you're grateful for from the present. And I want you to write down 1 thing you're grateful for from the future. First, write these in your own thoughts. Then I'll elaborate on mainly the future one. Let's talk about the past, okay? I want you guys to write 1 thing about the past because that's going to activate your memory. And the more you activate your memory, then that's a mental faculty that you're strengthening. You're developing your memory faculty inside of your mind. And that's a God-given gift that no one can take that away from you, and no one else can give it to you. But it is only up to you to develop it and strengthen your memory. So when you start writing down gratitude and you write down 1 from the past, my other challenge for you guys with gratitude is try to never repeat the same gratitude twice for the rest of your life. That's really going to encourage you guys to activate your memory. It's also going to allow you to be very, very present, right? When you write down 1 thing you're grateful for every day. Every day you could be actively new for a new present moment because every day is brand new. Then writing 1 thing you're grateful for in the future. This helps you be grateful for the things you have yet to have in physical form, in material form. I'll give you guys an example. Yesterday, we wrote down, what do you want in the next 12 months? Okay. In the last exercise, actually, some of you guys wrote down phenomenal answers for finances, right? Or your home, right? When I said describe the home you live in, or do you own your home? I'm pretty sure every single person said, yes, I own my home. Now, the way you described your home, right? The way you want it to be, I'm pretty sure for all of us, that's in the future, right? So you could say, I am grateful for the beautiful, whatever, 3 acres, 5 bedroom, 2 bath, I don't know, Adobe home with, XYZ. For some of you, for the financial one, right? I am grateful for the $25,000 a month of cash flow that I am making. That's writing things you're grateful for in the future. So I want to encourage you guys to write these 3 gratitudes every single morning, the rest of your life. And it doesn't always need to be 1 past, 1 present, 1 future. That's a phenomenal framework to use, though. So that way you can activate your memory. You could be very present. And then you can activate your imagination, which is the future. Okay. The last thing I want you guys to do is I want you guys to write down an affirmation right now. Write down an affirmation. But before you write down the affirmation, there's 2 methods. I want you to decide which one resonates with you most. And I want you to decide and commit to these method also alongside the gratitude every single day. Okay. An affirmation method number 1 is you could create an affirmation and then you could rewrite that same affirmation every single day for a year. And that's going to use the power of repetition to deeply embed this into your mind, right? Into your subconscious. The second method is you could develop a new positive affirmation each day to prime your mind for success, setting you up to win the day. There is no right or wrong. Whichever one resonates with you, I want you to decide and pick one, though. I want you to pick one for the next 12 months, and I want you to do it. Either you're going to commit to 1 affirmation to rewire your mind for that belief for a whole year, or you could pick a new one every day based on where you want to go with your day. Now, Earl Nightingale says the magic word is attitude. And what that means to me is that means you get to choose, because God gave us choice, how your day goes. And so when you wake up and you write down 3 things you're grateful for, even if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and a little grumpy, you can write down 3 things you're grateful for, write down that affirmation and commit to those affirmations and decide to follow through with those affirmations, okay, for the whole day. Now, if somebody, says something that offends you, you have that choice, right? To let it affect you for the rest of the day or to let it go through you like it never touched you, right? In one ear, out the other ear, or maybe it doesn't even go in one ear, right? It just goes right through you. That's how most of when people try to insult me, I don't even receive it. My body doesn't even receive it. I don't even acknowledge it. All right. So I want you to decide. Also in the chat or in the Facebook group, I want you to pick which method you chose, right? I always love seeing what method resonates with you guys and why. What method, and then when you're done, write down that affirmation right now. Write down that affirmation immediately, right now. All right, now what we're going to do is, here's today's task, okay? We're going to burn your negative results. I'll tell you why this is important. We think in images. Let me ask you guys a couple questions, okay? Here's a couple questions. Whether you're live or whether you're watching the recordings, answer these questions. Okay. What color is your fridge? Okay. Does your fridge open left to right to left, or center out? Okay. What color is your car? What color is the interior of your car? Okay. What color is the front door of your house? Okay. What color is the doorknob or handle of the door? What type of knob do you have? Do you have a round knob? Do you have a lever knob? Or do you have the thumb push handle, I guess we could call it, right? Where you push the thumb down and you push the door in. What type of door knob or handle do you have? What color is it? And the reason why I ask you guys is because we are built to think in images. God gave us the ability to think in images. So when I ask you what color your fridge is, you go into your memory, right? Your imagination, and you put yourself in your kitchen and you say, oh, well, my fridge is white, right? Or black or silver. Then when I ask what way it opens, you put yourself in the kitchen, opening up the door, and you say, oh, well, mine opens from center out or left to right. Then when I ask you what color is your car, an image crosses the screen of your mind and the color instantly pops up, right? When I ask you the interior color instantly pops up. Same thing for the doorknob. The door is always the trickiest one, right? That's always stumps people, but what color is, your doorknob? And you got to go into your mind, put yourself on the front door, imagine yourself opening up the door. You're thinking in images. Isn't that interesting? So here, when I say, maybe what does your mind look like? Tell me a picture of your mind. Most people will either tell me the brain, or they'll say like gears, right? Like a machine. And we don't necessarily have a picture of our mind, okay? Because our mind is not physical. Our mind is not material. Our mind is part of our spiritual being in our body. Your mind is in every single cell of your body. So we don't have necessarily an image of the mind, so we created one. Now, I borrowed this image, but this is a stick person, and this represents your mind. Okay, we got 2 parts of our mind. We got the conscious part, right, which I say is the top half of the circle. And we got the subconscious part, which is the bottom half of the circle. Then we got our body, because our conscious mind is where we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. That's where we're gathering information. We gather information. I call it 5-lane highways. We got 5-lane highways of information just flowing into our mind. How can we shut the highway down and just relax? Right? Okay. So here's what I'm going to have you guys do next. I'm going to have you guys rip out the sheet of paper with the negative results. The negative results are the ones with the present results. Okay. And I want you to rip that out, and I want you to record a video of you burning the negative results. I want you to record the video, and I want you to post the video in the Facebook group. And the reason why is just because we burn those negative results doesn't mean that those results are just going to go away. Okay. The present results is what we're talking about. We're only got time to focus on what we want, not where we're at. Okay. Just because we burn the present results, the negative results, doesn't mean they're just going to go away. But what we're going to do is by burning them, we're going to put a symbol, we're going to create a symbolism, putting an image on the screen of our mind that we no longer have time to focus on these present results. We no longer have no time. Can you guys make that commitment to me? We have no more time to commit to these ideas. There is no room in our conscious mind or in our subconscious mind. There is no more room from today moving forward to even think about this. No room. Stop thinking about it. Because if you think about it, through repetition of thinking about it, you're going to cause yourself to get emotionally involved with those ideas. You're going to cause yourself to do whatever it is that you do to get those results that you're currently getting, to think the same thoughts about them again, to get emotionally involved with those ideas, to do what you do to get those results, to put them back in your subconscious mind. Is this making sense? We no longer have time for that. But imagine, okay, we only have time to think and make decisions that focus on the way we want it to be. Okay? The way we want it to be. We think about the way we want it to be. Look at that paper every day. Tomorrow, we're going to dive deeper into this. The way you want it to be. You're going to think those thoughts. Okay? The way you want it to be. You're going to get emotionally involved with the thoughts that you want it to be, the way you want it to be, the income you want, the house you want, the relationships you want, the vacations you want, the way you want it to be. You're going to think about those often. Through thinking about them often and reading them off often, you're going to get emotionally involved with the idea of that becoming your reality. It's going to be your reality. When you get emotionally involved with those ideas, your mind is automatically going to create ideas to the path of accomplishment towards those ideas. And you're going to move into a vibration that's going to cause you to do the things that are necessary to get the results that you want. Okay? That you want. The results that you want. Then we're going to repeat that over and over for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. You have no other choice. We no longer worry about our present results. We don't have time about that for that. We're only going to focus on the way we want it to be. Okay? That is it. I hope I wrapped up day one. I hope I brought all of that together for you guys. Guys, everything you want is on the other side of developing these new successful habits. The reason why you're getting the results you want is because you don't have these habits built in place. We're going to start small and we're going to gradually compound these over the rest of your life, hopefully. That's the goal. So success becomes inevitable. Okay? We're going to wrap up day one. I appreciate every single one of you guys showing up. What I want you guys to do, can you please throw in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway from today? Right? Throw it in the Facebook group or throw it in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway from today? Once I get those biggest takeaways, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and wrap up the group call here. Okay, what was your biggest takeaway for today? Here's what I'll do for you guys. I'll take a picture of this. And I'll throw it in the Facebook group for you guys. Perfect. Alrighty. I'm gonna have you guys throw again, task, go burn that paper, record it, post it in the Facebook group, and then also post what was your biggest takeaway from day 2. Thank you guys for joining day 2. I'm excited to have you guys keep moving forward on this challenge for day 3 tomorrow. With that being said, everyone, I know it's getting late. Go have a phenomenal time with your family. And we got a group coaching call actually coming up too for the Ideal community. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you guys on day 3.